Hey there, folks. Remember that time you tried to save a few bucks by hiring a discount clown for your kid's birthday party? Yeah, things didn't go so well, did they? Turns out you get what you pay for. Now imagine applying that same logic to something a tad more important, like, say, the US nuclear arsenal. Yeah, not so funny anymore, is it? Unfortunately, it seems the previous administration missed that memo. In a truly baffling display of penny pinching, they decided to fire essential workers at our nuclear facilities. You know, the folks responsible for making sure those things don't, go boom when they're not supposed to. Because apparently, keeping America safe doesn't have the same ring to it when you're trying to balance the budget. This isn't just some abstract policy debate, folks. We're talking about highly trained professionals with years of experience handling some of the most dangerous materials on the planet. These are the folks who keep us safe from things that go K-boom in a very, very big way. And we're just gonna, show them the door to save a few bucks? That's like firing your brain surgeon to save money on your health insurance. It's not just short-sighted, it's downright reckless. Now, you might be wondering, who's in charge of this whole nuclear shebang anyway? Well, friends, meet the National Nuclear Security Administration, or NNSA for short. These are the folks tasked with the unenviable job of managing our nuclear arsenal. Think of them as the world's most intense hall monitors, except instead of confiscated cell phones, they're dealing with weapons of mass destruction. And it's not like they're working with a shoestring budget here. We're talking billions of dollars annually to ensure these weapons are secure, maintained, and, not pointed at anyone by accident. They oversee a vast network of labs, plants, and storage facilities, all dedicated to keeping those nuclear bad boys in check. But here's the thing about the NNSA. They're only as good as the people they employ. You can have all the fancy equipment and top-secret facilities in the world, but without the right people at the helm, it's all just expensive window dressing. And firing experienced personnel? Well, that's like playing Jenga with nuclear warheads. You might get away with it for a while, but eventually the whole thing is going to come crashing down. Let's talk qualifications, shall we? Because when it comes to handling nuclear weapons, having a pulse just doesn't cut it. We're talking about a level of expertise that takes years, if not decades, to develop. These are the folks who can tell a plutonium pit from a pineapple, who speak the language of nuclear physics, and who wouldn't dream of cutting corners when it comes to safety protocols. And it's not just technical skills, folks. We're talking about judgment, ethics, and a whole lot of common sense. These are the people who understand the gravity of their work, who lose sleep over potential risks, and who would rather swallow their own tongues than let something go wrong on their watch. So when you fire experienced workers in the name of cost-cutting, you're not just losing technical expertise, you're losing institutional knowledge, you're losing a culture of safety, and you're sending a very clear message. We don't actually care that much about this whole nuclear thing. And that, my friends, is a terrifying thought. So, what's the solution? Well, for starters, let's stop treating our nuclear arsenal like a political football. This isn't about left versus right, it's about right versus wrong. We need to invest in the NNSA, not gut it. We need to attract and retain the best and brightest minds, not show them the door. And we need to foster a culture of transparency and accountability so we can all sleep soundly knowing that our nuclear arsenal is in safe hands. But it's not just about us, folks. We live in a world with other countries who also possess these incredibly powerful and dangerous weapons. And as long as those weapons exist, there's always a risk, however small, of something going terribly wrong. That's why we need to be working towards a world without nuclear weapons. A world where the only mushroom clouds we see are the kind that come after a really good rainstorm. It's a long and difficult road, but it's the only responsible path forward. Because in the end, the only thing more terrifying than the thought of nuclear war is the thought of it happening by accident. And that, my friends, is a risk we simply cannot afford to take. That's our show. Good night.